video. So what I'm going to do is basically walk you through how Kianni went from being unconfident in his body, wanting to strip the belly fat, and struggling with his body confidence to getting lean, muscular, and having the confidence to have his top off for the first time in his life. So essentially, before we got started, move this out of the way. Before we got started, he was inconsistent in the gym. Reason why is just like time constraints, right? He worked in the city. He'd get up, he'd get the train super early. He'd be back at like 8, 9, maybe even 10 p.m. sometimes, which meant that he had very little time to be able to commit to going to the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week. And it just wouldn't be realistic that he'd have a plan that he'd be able to follow something like that. He needed something different, something time efficient for him. The second reason why, he had a very busy social life. So his social life on the weekends, plus with his work, he'd regularly go out for lunches with like clients and whatnot. That meant that he'd be eating out a lot, drinks and whatnot. So it made it a little bit tougher for him to stick to a diet or see the fat loss progress that he wanted. He was grabbing food on the go a lot as well because he wasn't prepping it, which meant a lot of snacking at the desk. And then obviously that led to him not losing any weight. And when he tried all these restrictive plans in the past, it meant that his hunger was high again. He would just go through the cycle of snacking even more. He also found himself stuck trying to do lots of different things. But overall, the main reason why he come to me is because he's just lacking direction of like how to actually piece a plan together, get some structure, and move forwards with his body transformation goals. And he was also apprehensive about online coaching. He didn't even sign up on the initial call. He left a couple of days to let him marinate, and he thought PT route was a thing for him. Like, would online coaching work? How would it work? But once I assured him that, we get great results with guys and girls, and ultimately online is the best route to go when it comes to transforming your body, because everything that we can offer, he was all in and never looked back essentially. So what we did is very simple. We'll go through a few steps here. So step one is actually just mapping out the process, mapping out a clear roadmap, getting clear on milestones, goals that he wanted to achieve, phases that we're going through. So every single couple of months, it was a different phase, a different focus. So there was no like guessing, winging it. It was just clear intention. He put his blinkers on. He just went headfirst into this process. So that's the first thing we did. We just set the foundations in place so he knew what was to come. Once we got him excited about that and he was buzzing and he knew what he was working towards and he had a clear roadmap and confidence that it would happen, then the second thing we do is create a time-efficient training program, because the reality is, first off, we don't need to train 5, 6, 7 days a week like a bodybuilder. Don't believe people who say that. Secondly, he didn't have the time, right? He wanted to find something where he could do not minimal effort. If anything, the effort was more. It was just minimal amount of time, the minimum effective dose to be able to get him in shape. And this is what we do with pretty much all clients, right? Is we give them 2 to 3 really efficient workouts that, again, take 30 to 45 minutes, which meant that throughout the whole week that he had, he only needed a little bit of time to dedicate, whether it's on his lunch breaks usually or just before work on the weekends. That made it really simple for him to be consistent, get stronger and build muscle over time. And then every single phase that we went through of training, again, had specific focuses in terms of strength, building muscle, endurance, etc., so we can improve his overall physique over time. Step 3, once we've got the training sorted in check, the most important part for fat loss is going to be his nutrition. So we kind of stripped things back, went more into the whole food stuff. He had a few gut issues as well, so we had to make sure that 90% of what he did most of the time was just whole foods, things that made him feel good, be able to train hard, give him energy, and actually just good for his overall health, which is a big focus of ours. So when he was doing that, eating high volume foods, he wasn't hungry all the time, he wasn't having to snack all the time, he wasn't craving loads of stuff, which meant that he was dieting, but he didn't feel like he was dieting. He was always full. He was never really like struggling to get to his next meal, not crash dieting like most people would do or what he did in the past. This was just a way to make it feel like he was losing weight, but he wasn't actually trying to lose weight. And that's the way we did it. And we had a really simple strategy so that, he had his meals ready, so he wasn't going off track. So a quick meal prep strategy every single weekend. So when he goes into the week, nice and easy, food's ready, he just follows that. It's all weighed out and simple for him. And then giving him options as well outside of that. So let's say he did have a work meal, or let's say he had a weekend meal or some drinks with some friends, whatever that was. Or let's say if he got his lunch, we gave some simple options that he could follow so that we just bulletproofed it. We bulletproofed his lifestyle. There was always something that he could choose, always a good option he could have. So we never really steered off track and kept moving forwards. Don't know why I wrote step 3 twice. Anyway, step 4. So high level of accountability and support. All of that stuff's good, but let's be honest, he wouldn't have probably stuck to it. The reason why most people come to me is, one, the plan, because I've got the blueprint, but most importantly, just having like clear guidance, support, and accountability along the way to keep him on track. So we held him to a high standard because he wasn't doing that by himself. So held him to a high standard that he needed to achieve a great result. Gave him clear KPIs to focus on. So every single week we checked in, we looked at the data, we saw what was going well. So again, high level of accountability, set the goals for the week, gave him clarity. He followed that. We kept communicating and feeding back throughout the week to make sure that he was doing okay, and support him at every step of the way. And that meant he never had to guess. Every week was just clear intention, no guesswork involved. So we had no excuse really. Like all we had to do was just execute, just follow the plan blindly, and he knew that was what was going to get him to the result. And this was after, right? So we'd gone from this position here, again, not happy where he was, unconfident in his body, didn't want to have his top off on the beach with the lads. Completely different scenario that we got to, and that was just within 3 months. So this is wrong. I don't know why I said 21 kilos. We lost 10 kilos. That's a massive fuck up there, but we lost 10 kilos. First time he'd seen his abs starting to peek through, which is great. He'd built muscle. He looked like an athlete, which is again his original goal, was a nice athletic look. He didn't want to be like a bodybuilder, and most importantly, energy, confidence through the roof. He felt like he was the best version of himself. Being a busy guy, having an important job, he needs to be switched on, he needs to be focused. But the most thing is just feeling confident with his body, feeling content, feeling happy, and something that he can sustain for the rest of his life. What we didn't do, so these are the things we didn't do to have to get him that result. We didn't spend hours in the gym, literally 3 hours or less every single week, never any more, sometimes half of that. We didn't have to give up his social life, we integrated it into it. Obviously it was realistic, wasn't drinking 10 fucking pints on a weekend, right? That's not going to happen when you want to lose weight. But we was realistic, and we made sure that he could enjoy that as well. And we didn't follow a restrictive diet, because that's just going to cut the calories down and slash it and make him feel awful. We actually did the opposite. We fueled him up. We gave him loads of good quality foods. Again, didn't feel like he was dieting. After every meal, he felt really, really full. And that's why he was able to perform well in the gym and progress with his strength and muscle mass as well. So what we have now in place is I've just dropped our exclusive opportunity for summer. It's for 6 guys, so 6 spaces are open, who are basically sick and tired. They're currently training, struggling to stick to any sort of diet plan, tried restrictive things in the past and it doesn't work. Basically, you're not getting results, you're getting frustrated, and you feel like you're working really hard, but for some reason, you keep going around in circles and not actually getting anywhere. This is for you if that's the position that you're in and you want to drop 5 to 10 kilos, build muscle, and do it all without even feeling like you're dieting. It's just part of your life, part of who you are, and it's a simple way of doing things. And it fits into your life and aligns with you and your values as well. So if you're interested, like I said, 6 spaces open for a week. It will definitely be gone by then, so don't delay this. If you do want info, all you have to do, no pressure thing, just message me the word info on Instagram. I'll send over a quick document. It literally covers all the details, what we're going to do in the program, how it sort of works, and the pricing too, so you're aware on that, and then we can sort of go from there. So if that sounds good, drop me a message with the word info and I'll get that sent right over to you.